Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Selena and today I'm going to be doing a cute, very glittery, very fun spring look. I'm just going to go ahead and start priming my face. I like to use the e.l.f. primers. I believe this one is the mineral infused primer. And outside of this one, I also like to use the pore minimizing one. I believe that's the pink one. But yes, I'm just going to go ahead and prime my face and add a little concealer to my under eye area. And what I use is the e.l.f. Camo, the 16-hour concealer, and I mixed that with some color corrector. And then I just put that all over my eyelid as well as the under eye, since that's where I am darkest. Cover up a couple of blemishes and then go ahead and blend that out. The foundation that I use is the same foundation that I've been using in just about all of my videos, and that is the L'Oreal True Match in the shade W9.5. It's just the foundation for me that works. I don't like going foundation hunting to try and find my shade, so once I found this, I just haven't looked anywhere else for real. I use my fingers to just spread a thin layer all over my face. It's easiest instead of dirtying up brushes or any other type of tools. And then after I do this with my fingers, I just use one of those disposable wedges and go ahead and blend, blend, blend. The reason I use sponges or these little wedges instead of brushes or those round egg-shaped sponges is because this is just how I learned how to do makeup. My mother used these little wedges basically in my entire life, and so I just started doing it too, and I find it pretty easy. This is my contour color. It's really a concealer, but I use it for contour. And this is the Maybelline concealer. What shade is this? 65 coffee or toffee or something like that. Anyway, I've literally had this forever because I only use a few dots to contour and it's still kicking. Go ahead and put that sharp, angular looking cheekbones back after it got flat from the foundation, and then I just add a little bit to my nose. Now I'm using the Revolution Glow Splendor Ultra Matte Bronzer. That is a very long name, in the shade Dark. This is a discontinued bronzer. I've literally had this since like 2020. It lasts forever. I also use this in just about all of my videos to bronze. It literally lasts forever. But it is a great bronzer, I will admit. And then I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Loose setting powder. And I believe this is also in the shade Dark. And I'm just gonna go ahead and set my face. I do use quite a bit of powder, pressing it lightly into my face because I have oily skin and it's getting warm outside, and therefore it gets really warm in my apartment. And I want my makeup to last for a little while. So I go ahead and powder my face. I don't let it sit. I just go ahead and immediately wipe it off with a big fluffy brush. I don't know why I be making all these faces. Like, I swear I'm not brushing my face hard. I'm gonna go back with my 16-hour e.l.f. Camo concealer and just add a little bit to my nose bridge and blend that out with the exact same sponge wedge that I used before. And that's just to make it look like I have a higher nose. My nose bridge is fairly flat, and this gives me a little light there, and so it makes it look like I have a bit more of a nose bridge than I actually do. And so nothing too drastic. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and brush my eyebrows. I am not someone that does their eyebrows. If you've been watching my videos, you would know that. I don't know. I prefer the natural fluff of my brows. I've never been a huge fan of super sharply polished brows. But yeah, I just brush and go on about my business. I'm gonna take some e.l.f. setting spray, matte setting spray, give myself a light spritz to make sure my base settles in nicely and my oils don't start eating through it automatically. Then I'm going to take the Lily Munstar palette from Glam Goth Beauty. Very fun, very pretty. This has actually become my most used palette recently, but I'm going to take that lighter murky colored green and keep that on the outer edge of my eye, as well as drag it through the crease and a little bit underneath the eye. But yeah, we want to keep the green on the outer half of the eye, and I'm going to do that to both eyes, of course. You just keep building it up until you get the opaqueness. Is that the word I'm looking for? The opacity, opaque. You want it to be opaque, child. Get the color that you want. And after that, I'm going to go in with that more vibrant color green. Looks like a Christmas green. And put that right over top. I'm going to also just keep that on the outer half of the eye. I'm not going to drag it through the crease too much. Just keep it on the outer half, and also a little bit underneath the eye as well. I'm not particular when it comes to brushes, so you're going to see me using multiple brushes. Some are brand, I guess, like I have some ColourPop brushes, I have some e.l.f. brushes, and then I just have regular Walmart brushes. This brush that I'm using right now, regular Walmart brush. Then I'm going to go back with the brush that I used the lighter green for and just blend it a little bit. I'm not adding any more color. I'm just using whatever's left on the brush to blend that out a little bit. Then I'm going to go on with that pink color, and that's what I'm going to use for the inner half of the eyelid on both eyes. And just like with that lighter green, just keep adding and packing it on until you get the level of opaqueness that you want. And just like with the green, add it underneath the eyelid as well, but keep it towards the center and middle half. I mean, center and inner half. And blend, blend, blend. Go back with that brush with the lighter green on it and smooth that out. I'm going to use that shimmery pink color, and that's going to go on the middle of my eyelid between the pink and the green. I spritzed it with some setting spray so it could really pop, because when I use it without the setting spray, it's very, very diffused, but I really wanted this to pop on my eyelid. And so I'm just going to apply that and make sure I get it how I want it. It's not going to be directly in the center. It is going to bleed a bit into both the pink and the green on either side. So yeah, build that however you want it. I'm also going to add some, just very little, on the center of my bottom lid. You really couldn't see it too much in the video, but in person it does twinkle a bit, so it was cute. It was cute. And then I'm going to take that Periwinkle shimmer shade and add it to my inner corner of my eye, and be as generous or not as you want. Now I'm going back into the greens, that murky green, that more vibrant green, and just a tad bit of the brown, and I'm going to add that to my cheeks like a blush. I'm going to make sure it runs and meets the green that's on the eye, but that's where I'm going to be applying the green as blush. It does look a bit murky and swampy, but just stay with me. And now we're doing pink and red for the rest of the blush. I did add a little bit of that purple into it because I usually mix the purple, pink, and brown, but I did the pink and red and a tad bit of purple, but I was a little heavy-handed with the purple, and so I have to go back into the pink and red to get it how I want it, but it turned out pretty okay. You see how I was looking a bit purple here, so I had to dab a bit more pink and red on there. And don't be afraid to add blush. This is a very heavy blush look, so even if you think that you have enough, girl, add more. Okay, this is a very blush heavy look, and I am dragging it up at my temples and around the green. Like, I want the pink color to pretty much encompass the green. Add a little extra powder to the forehead because that's what gets oily first. So just making sure that my forehead okay, you know. Next, I'm going to be using the Winx glitter gel from ColourPop, and I'm going to add that on top of the pink shimmer on the eyelids because I really want this glitter to be seen. And then I'm going to do yet another spritz of my e.l.f. setting mist to lock all that color into my face. And then I'm going to use a mascara. This is the Revolution Beauty Chocolate Mascara. You can literally use whatever mascara you like. I just chose this one because I hadn't been using it in a while and I don't want it to go bad and still have like a full tube, so I just chose this just to choose it. I'm going to be putting lashes on anyway, so my mascara really didn't matter. And don't forget to do your bottom lashes. I often forget my bottom lashes, but not this time. We're gonna do the bottom lashes today. That's a face, child. And then next I'm going to use my LA Girl Auto Stay Liner in a very deep chocolate brown. I didn't want to go completely black because I felt like that would be a bit too stark, so I just used a deep brown shade to line my waterline. Now I'm going back to that palette because I did add some more of that shimmery periwinkle color to my nose like a highlighter. And now I'm moving on to the lips. This is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade On Ice. I really do enjoy this shade, but first I'm going to wipe off the remaining chapstick on my lips so that the oils won't be in the way of making the lip pencil stick. So I'm going to go ahead and line my lips. I like to take my time when lining my lips because I do already have a very defined lip perimeter, if you will. So I just want to make sure that I'm not, you know, drawing all over my face and just looking crazy, child. So yeah, let's go ahead and speed this up a little bit. I did color the outer corners a bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and diffuse that, kind of fade it out with my fingers, so it'll be more of an ombre look when I add the rest of the lip color. Just like so. And this is the Pink Archive Velvet Lip Tint from Etude House. They no longer have a global website anymore. And then after this whole tariff situation that we have here in the US, it's kind of hard to, you know, buy from Yes Style, but you might be able to still find this on Amazon. I bought it from the actual website before they discontinued the website. Now I'm going back in with that Periwinkle shimmer shade and adding it as a highlighter to my cheeks. It is such a pretty color. I don't know if it goes with the pink and green, but it's pretty. Now my lashes, these are Perfusion Flutter lashes. It came in some type of spring butterfly collection or what have you, but I'm using the super dramatic glittery ones. I applied it off camera because I was struggling. It took so long to put these lashes on. And go back into the palette with that shimmery periwinkle and add it to my lips for a little pop of shimmer on the lips. And then add my jewelry. I added gold big butterflies because I just thought butterflies were a perfect symbol for spring. Go ahead and take that hair scarf off and make sure that my my bronzer is blended into my hairline, because when I tie my hair up sometimes I do miss spots because I got a whole lot of forehead. So make sure everything is blended properly and smooth and cute. Fluff out the ponytail, and that's it. We done. We cute. Oh wait, I lied. One more douse of the setting spray to lock all of that in. And now we done. We cute. Okay? Okay. So these were probably the hardest lashes that I have ever had to put on in my entire life. And since they're so glittery and big, you can't even see the glitter on my actual eyelids. So that was almost kind of a waste. But I just wanted to do something different, something fun, something different, you know? Like, this is, I guess, an alternative spring makeup look. This is very interesting, to say the least. I have never done anything like this before, but let's see if I can get some sunlight instead of this weird room lighting that I have. So this is what it looks like next to a window. So I'm not sure about the color combination that I have on my cheeks because it does kind of look a little bruise-like, but I mean, it's a learning process. This is makeup. I'm just here to have some fun. But yeah, even when I like turn my face a certain way, it looks a little bruise-like, but it was still fun. It was still fun. If my lashes look a little wonky, it's because, like I said, these were the hardest lashes that I've ever had to put on. If you hear strong wind, it's because it is so windy outside right now. So please pardon the noise if you hear that. But yay! This is my spring look. Yeah, the green looks a bit bruise-like, kind of murky, but I don't care. Swampy spring look. Here we are.